Tara and Andy's film reviews on OurGamers.co.uk.
So I think it's time to spoil you lovely lot with another film review today of a specifically exciting film. I'm Tara Malik. This is
Andy Baines.
And we are going to be talking Solo, a Star Wars story. They went there. They're starting to do little, character stories now, trailing off, finding out backstories and all or what have you.
Rogue One was technically the first one.
Okay, yeah, I know. Now they're carrying on. Oh, don't. I was getting there, Andy. Anyway, so classified 12A, this film. Director is Ron Howard. Starring in this, you got Alden, Ehrenreich, Woody. I can't help myself. I go German when I read it.
Know.
Don't start with me.
I'm not.
Woody Harrelson, who you love, I know. Emilia Clarke, who I love. She's amazing.
I prefer her over Woody Harrelson.
No, you don't. You love
she's
Woody.
More attractive.
Oh my gosh, are we even going there today? It's too early for that, Andy.
It is. That's the guy from Happy Days. I thought I recognised his name.
I do recognise his name as well.
Mm.
Anyway, action, adventure, fantasy is the genre of this film. Running time's 2 hours and 15 minutes. And the film is about this. During an adventure into the criminal underworld, Han Solo meets his future co-pilot Chewbacca and encounters Lando Calrissian. Yes, do you know what? Don't start. It's because I know his name. I've never actually seen the name. It threw me. If you look at it, it throws you, okay? Lando Calrissian, years before... Oh, my laptop's just switched off. Joining the rebellion.
It's given up.
Let's try that again. During the adventure into the criminal underworld, Han Solo meets his future co-pilot Chewbacca and encounters Lando Calrissian years before joining the rebellion. Brilliant.
You're leaving the previous version in, yeah?
No, of course, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I just wanted people to have a version that was okay. Story and script, Andy. Oh, real good story. Better than expected.
I went in with very low expectations.
He had such low hopes.
I'd heard so many bad things about this.
I didn't. You told me after. I was shocked.
I was worried.
And it made me question my film review skills.
The teaser didn't do anything for me. The trailer didn't do anything for me. The music on the trailer.
I've got that in a section.
Camp.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. But they had a decent enough start. Mm-hmm. It was going to be hard to live up to the expectations. And going in with low expectations probably helped enjoy it. Because I was thoroughly happy. I loved it. It was, well, you think about it, right? This character has
there was
been
a lot
in so many
on
films,
yeah,
and he's so well known.
And I love Han Solo. You have to do this right. There's a lot on your shoulders taking this on. I agree. It could have completely been a disaster, and I would have pointed that out fairly. But from what I saw, I was very pleased with how it came out. The story, the people, the characters, all of it. But we're talking about story and script right now,
and my last thing regarding that is actually enjoying.
Oh, good.
Yep.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Andy. A great love story aspect in this as well. It's always about a girl. But the girl is smart and the guy is just not. So that's all.
Oh, he learns from his mistakes.
Yeah, but he's just so blinded by love, and she's serious survivor. That's the instinct. Anyway,
we know Solo's only out for himself at the end of the other previous films, isn't he? So
yeah. Well, I need to do a marathon of them again. Anyway.
Oh, gosh.
A few funny moments here and there. Funny lines.
Oh, yeah.
Funny delivery. I quite liked it.
Giggles from you and everyone, but it wasn't too much.
No, exactly. It was a fair amount. It wasn't turned into a comedy. That would have been awful. So, yeah. Great twists in here as well. And loved the references from everything you know from the originals.
So many references.
It's brilliant. They show it here. They explain it here. It's just fantastic. So, I loved it.
Good.
Action. Good action. Quite happy with that too.
Good action, mate.
Don't know.
From the trailer, we've seen a bit about a train, and that scene was a really intriguing scene during the actual film as well. The way the train moved around and reacted to the speed and everything like that. Without going into stupid details.
There's actually quite a bit that happens in this film.
There was, and it didn't have any scenes if we refer to the last Star Wars film, there's a whole section of that film that I think was not needed and could have been left out. I don't have any thoughts about that regarding this film.
Yeah,
everything
this film it had a reason, and that's the point of a good film. Does that? Everything's in there for a reason, and it all was. they had to do this to get to this, to get to that point, to get to that point. They were knocked back here. They got to do this now. That. So everything, it all made sense. And it was brilliant. So I really enjoyed that as well. And the action scenes from the, piloting a ship to being on that train to God knows what. It was just, I really enjoyed it. So
I haven't put much thought into this.
You never do.
That's harsh.
I'll take it back.
Obviously.
I never do.
These sort of Star Wars story films are better than, in my eyes, the prequels. Now, I haven't put much thought behind this. The prequels are always a bit naff in my eyes. And I feel
sorry for the person who passionately loves the first three and has to maybe hide that
Well, if you ever
from
find
everyone.
that person, I'd like to meet them and then have a conversation and find out why.
You're going to educate them.
No, I'd be curious to why. But they're not that great.
They're okay, but I can see, exactly. I mean, it's a unanimous
the
agreement
first one's
there.
based on like a trade dispute, and it's just. Anyway, as I was saying,
we don't have time for that.
I think it's a safe statement to say that the two Star Wars stories side films, are doing it right. They're doing it right for themselves. They really are. Mm-hmm. Probably, maybe even liked more. I haven't seen the ratings, but they might even be liked more than the episodes that have been released recently.
Fair dues. That'd be quite interesting. Yeah, well, you go check that out. I'm going to carry on with this.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I think, and the thing is, this is going to set up, I assume, for a different trilogy. So you've got the first one now with Solo. I assume there are going to be two more.
I don't think anything like has been confirmed, is it?
Oh, it'd be nice though, wouldn't it?
Well,
is it just going to be a separate? Right, here's one little story from here.
Well.
You had Rogue One, now you got Solo.
Would they do a Solo... a film based on another character, or would they bring Solo?
Good choice of words there, Andy.
Yeah, I realised when I said it.
Yeah, is there going to be a Solo of those? Yeah, anyway. So, if they do other characters as well...
Solo's rating is incredibly close to the Last Jedi rating as well.
I am curious. We were trying to figure out timeline-wise where it fits in at the end of the film. Kind of where... That's why it was like... And there's a big thing that happens at the end. Oh my goodness, you are seriously going to be like, what? It's really good. But the reveal. But anyway. And you'll know it when you see it. You'll just be like, oh my gosh, did that just happen?
No, there's nothing at the end. She's not really spoiling anything there.
No, I'm not spoiling anything. But don't blink. Just do not blink. So, yeah. But it would be interesting. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they did do a second one that kind of fits in between. I think they've left it open enough that it would be interesting to see where characters go before it then links in to the existing timeline that we have with the films.
Well, we know in episode 4 he's already trying to save himself and offers a ride for the, to Obi-Wan and all that. So there's obviously some gap between it all.
Yeah. Okay. Sets CGI, Andy, I thought it was all good.
Yes, decent sets right from the start. Some very interesting ones and some different ones, not normal for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Also, the ice planet was a different ice planet to what we know. That was a nice one. They've because desert planets all kind of look similar. And you'd think snow planets will kind of look similar, but this one was all like rocky terrain, and it's nice that they can mix it up a bit and actually successfully do that. So yeah, hats off to them.
No, I quite liked it as well. Music and score. So yes, really pleased. I'll tell you why. You obviously touched on this already, and I've been telling everyone. The trailer music was so cheesy. It really, really hit a nerve with me.
And me. Didn't do it justice.
Oh gosh, what was that about? At the end of the trailer, when you get the cheesiest version of the Star Wars theme song you could ever imagine.
We saw a trailer. We saw the trailer for Solo while watching something else, and we mentioned it after that film.
Yeah.
And I think you was like, oh, it doesn't look too bad. It looks a bit interesting. And I was like, but the music. And you're like, oh, yes, the music. And then you totally...
It's almost like they were doing a spoof?
Yeah,
is that the word
parody
for it?
type thing.
Exactly, like a parody. That's what it sounded like. Like it was a parody of the thing.
It can't be close enough for legal reasons.
Yeah, but it's just, oh my gosh, it was just too cheesily cheerful.
Yeah,
but anyway.
So that was another little worry.
So I was like, I hope they don't play that throughout the film. I will just... But, so despite that being the case, they actually pulled it all together and pulled it off and did a proper job for the film. The music was fantastic. I really like the opening music as well. So I'm pleased. The score, all good. Tick that box. I'm happy. Thank goodness, because I tell you what, that trailer music, every time. And we go to the cinema quite often because we do these film reviews for you lovely, lovely, lovely people. And every time we had to see that trailer and I had to hear that music, a little part of me died inside. It was just awful. It was so bad. But anyway.
I've got the same note. Music was great, unlike the trailer.
Oh, unlike the trailer. Do you think they noticed? No, because it would have been out already.
No. They might have had long enough.
Back to it.
Yeah.
Be like, we just got to change a few notes because that sounds too cheesy and cheerful. Greg, what were you thinking? Or whatever. Just make up a name. Just like, yeah, Greg, it's all on you. Anyway, 3D is the next section.
You vote first.
Nothing stood out.
Oh, good, because I've got a note that says, I forgot this was in 3D.
Yeah, nothing at all. I don't think much was in 3D, or what you would expect as 3D, considering it's in space as well. There's so much depth there.
Normally, stuff like that, you can
I forgot we were watching 3D.
Yeah, same. My note actually says that, yeah.
Yeah. I can't tell you anything in that film. And there are some, unless it wasn't working on the day, I don't know. But there are some parts in that film. No,
it was working because I actually tested it and took my glasses off. Some of it was blurry.
Or maybe they just didn't do it enough for the film. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are so many, I'm thinking back, and there are so many parts in, like, the storm.
It would have made sense.
Like,
the Kessel Run, the whole
exactly,
that
whole
Run stuff
bit. Like, that would have been so epic, but I didn't notice it. And I flinch. I'm like, ooh, but nah, nothing. Nothing. I just sat there and took it all in.
And I flinch. Ooh.
So, 3D, unfortunately. No need for it there. You can just go watch it in 2D. It's fine. Cast and characters.
Another thing I was worried about.
Oh,
I sound like Eeyore, don't I? Oh, dear.
I wasn't going to say you seem like a depressed donkey today, my friend, but
it's a bit harsh.
You were a penguin last time, weren't you?
You're a penguin.
I'm a flamingo and you know it.
I wasn't overly excited. I didn't know the cast. You know, I didn't know.
I was just hoping...
Woody Harrelson.
Oh, yeah, he's obviously... Emilia Clarke. I knew she'd be good. I love Emilia Clarke.
Why?
What do you mean?
Why did you know she'd be good?
Because everything I've seen her in so far, I have enjoyed. So we've seen her in briefly in Game of Thrones. We've only watched the first.
They've only seen about 2 episodes with her in.
Those aren't easy bits that she plays, and she plays them really well.
No, I agree with that.
Also, she's very versatile.
Oh, she was in Terminator, wasn't she? Yeah.
Yes, she was really good in Terminator. And Me Before You.
That's what I just said.
Oh, yes, yeah. Which was a completely different role, because she was just so cute and quirky and bubbly and cheerful, and you can't break her down because she's just so happy. But she's still human. So I love that. So I really like Emilia Clarke.
She was a voice in Futurama, I didn't know that.
Now you like her.
Yeah.
So I just really like Emilia Clarke. I like what she brings to the table every time she does.
That's her character in Futurama.
Performance. Andy,
yes.
Come on, back to it.
Looks a bit like her, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness. So, yeah, Emilia Clarke, I knew that was going to be good. Woody Harrelson, he is, where are my notes on him? I mean, the guy is beyond typecast, but he does it,
I'm not even going to argue that. He does it well.
I love it. And he does it so well. He does the sarcastic, the cynical, the tough guy. What
was the first thing you saw him in? Like Hunger Games or something?
I think it was. And then we saw him in War of the Return of the something of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah. Whatever that last title was, that one. Saw him in that. So he plays that sort of character really well, and I do love it. But yeah, I can't complain. Emilia Clarke, yeah, great job. I do love her. Overall, not bad from everyone as well, because Donald Glover does really well as Lando Calrissian. Who else do we have? We've got quite a few.
The voice of L337?
Yes, so...
Noteworthy, good character.
I do love the droids that they bring in all these episodes. I tell you what, though, she did really get on my nerves most of the time.
Yeah, but that's more character, I think.
A little soft spot. No, because, like... her in general, she did my head in, but she would come out every so often with a line or whatever, and I'd be like, oh yes, I like that. You can stay.
You don't want it over the top.
Yeah, I think sometimes it was a bit, maybe that's what it was, like sometimes it was just like there was no need for that comment or whatever, but all in all, like, she was an okay droid. I was quite happy with her. Good. So yeah, and
I agree though. I thought it was an alright character.
Yeah, it wasn't my favourite. I mean, BB-8's always going to be my absolute favourite ever. And what was the one in...
Rogue One?
Yeah.
That was the one who voiced Hey, wasn't it? What's his face?
Exactly.
K2SO.
2SO, yeah.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk.
So, yeah, they're my favourites. But anyway, I love Chewie. And I love Chewie and Solo's backstory in this, how they met, the dynamics in the film, the conversations that they're having. I just love it. I absolutely love it. So you get to see that as well. And great personality traits of Solo that we know and love are well done by Alden Ehrenreich. He did do a good job in the end, despite what I didn't even know until you told me
they sent him to acting school.
Which is a bit
I don't know
weird.
If that's definitely confirmed.
Like, the guy is an actor. I mean, you can never... there's always loads to learn. I get that. There's always loads to learn with, acting. But in my mind, I'm thinking, if this is such a big role to fill, and the guy that you've cast possibly isn't the right guy...
I wonder if they just didn't get it... I wonder if he just couldn't get it quite right.
Maybe.
Couldn't pull off Solo the way they wanted it.
I mean, overall, I was happy with him. So it's not like I walked out thinking, he was the...
Oh, no, I was happily satisfied by his Solo performance.
I had no idea.
I was quite happy with it.
Like, I would have never had any idea. And then when you told me, I was like, no way! And that's when I was like, do I really know what I'm talking about? And yes, I do, and I'm going to stick to it. So there will be more film reviews with Tara and Andy. Deal with it.
Report, Lucasfilm was so concerned about him being Solo performance, it brought in an acting coach.
It's just to tweak it a bit, isn't it?
Yeah,
just
maybe.
a little guidance.
He done it in the end. He done it well. I'm not complaining.
It's tough shoes to fill.
It is. That's the thing.
Tough.
Right, you hear something like that. You hear about budgets, directors being redone and all that.
Oh yeah, you said it was over.
Story being the script being redone or whatever. You hear
and
all
it went
stuff like
over
that.
over
time, over budget, multiple directors.
Oh gosh.
Cast needing things like that. The coaching.
And you
all
start
that.
thinking,
you start to worry. You do start to worry.
And then you got the cheesy trailer music.
Yeah.
But overall, it is good. Anyone else? No, I think that's all I've got for cast and characters.
Before we actually do... Are you doing it right now?
We do the randoms. I haven't got any randoms.
I haven't either.
Oh,
hold on, another?
Have you?
Occasional giggles.
Oh, occasional giggles. I thought you said occasional giggles.
Oh, there are some... I've got two here that I've noted. I can't say them because they're not spoilers, but they're nice to experience yourself. It's like references to the old films.
Oh.
So, it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Definitely. Before we go into the rating, though, just to put into perspective, Force Awakens got 8. Yeah. Last Jedi got 7.
0.3.
Well, 7.3, yeah, sorry. Rogue One got 7.8. Now, I can see with those two. I can see that being possibly as good as or better than Force Awakens. And I can see Rogue One being classed better than The Last Jedi.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I agree with that.
And then you got this, which has only got 7.2.
7.2.
So I don't know if I agree with that because I think that's probably better than what was Force Awakens again? Last Jedi? 7.3.
7.3.
I think it should be higher than that, definitely.
Just a little bit, like a 7.4 maybe.
Yeah.
Just a little bit higher. Fair enough, it might still change. Doesn't change my rate on it. I'm going to give it an 8.
Here's hoping that they're making enough money off this. They probably are.
Yeah.
That they're going to keep doing some side stories.
Yeah.
Because I do like the side stories. And
when it's cleverly written that it interlinks without the characters even knowing, when it finally all comes together in the films that we know and love, the 4, 5 and 6. And it's so cleverly written about that. But so if they can do that where, characters' paths cross way before it becomes this big epic thing, and just the dynamics of everything, and I hope so. I really do hope so. Nice. Anyway, so as I said, I'm giving it an 8. I really enjoyed it. Please do bring on another. I don't mind if there's a second Solo, if there's even a third, so they do a trilogy of Solo. I think I actually wouldn't mind that. I think that'd be brilliant.
No, I'd agree. I shall also give it an 8.
Oh, nice. Oh, we're finally on the same page. In the same boat. In the same puddle. I've got a tiny boat. Right, okay. That's all for this week.
I honestly don't know how to respond. I'm sorry.
I don't know either. I can't help you there. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks to Cineworld Festival Leisure Park Basildon for the best experience around.